sure you guys always did it as fans as well. On the fade, you wish the fade didn't fade. And you push the volume right to the end. You want to hear those little ad-libs. You want to hear what happened. You want to hear right till the tape ran out.
That's one of them right there, bro.
Exactly, you know. And that's when sometimes when they remaster records, sometimes I notice the fade will be a little longer on some stuff, and you'll hear things in the fade, and they'll keep it up another 10 seconds. And there's so many of those records I just wish it didn't, just didn't fade so soon. Even though, who knows what happened after that.
Well, Phil Lynott was a king of ad-libs as well. Some of his ad-libs and those outros are just class.
Oh, like right there, in that fade.
Yeah.
I gotta make a dollar holla.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
So great.
Hollywood from Thin Lizzy and from Black Star Riders, Bound for Glory, the lead track from their debut album, which will be coming out on May 28th. And joining us in the studio from that band, again, which is now called Black Star Riders, and we'll still celebrate the music of Thin Lizzy as well, is Damon Johnson and Ricky Warwick, who've been hanging out with us for the last hour. We'll finish up with a few phone calls with them, and then we'll have a couple hours to get on to some other stuff and some other things. As a matter of fact, Joey Kramer from Aerosmith just texted me, speaking of Aerosmith, and they're in LA getting ready to leave for Australia to do some dates, and he wanted to jump on the air when he had a second. I guess, obviously, what's going on in the world right now with this tragedy in Boston, too, obviously very close to the guys in the Aerosmith camp, and I'm sure they want to jump on for a few. So we'll do that in a little bit as well. But let's get some calls going right now. Lines are jammed. We'll move through them as quickly as we can for Ricky and Damon at 866-315-2663. We're going to start with Dennis, who's listening in Reno. Hi, Dennis.
Hey, guys. How you guys doing tonight?
Hey, Dennis.
Hey, Dennis. How's it going?
Going great. I just wanted to comment, man, and tell you guys, I saw you guys when you guys were here in Reno, and I was right up front, and the coolest part of the whole show was that at one point, Scott had come up to the front with, slapping hands, and he came to me, and he actually, put a pick in my hand. One of those moments where you're just like, oh my God, everybody else. Other than Damon, obviously, I didn't see the original lineup. I've always been a huge fan of the band, huge.
Right on.
And, the fans who always are being negative about it, it's like, look, man, Phil can't come back. So who else is going to keep this music alive?
That's it. That's it right there.
And you guys are killing it, and the new music, looking forward to the new album. And, I hate to say this, but fuck America, man. We are so I mean, shit, there's some bands here that are embracing, that more traditional sense of it, but I wonder how long that's going to last. If we want to seem like it used to be, we got to promote these bands.
Here, here.
Well, the biggest problem, Dennis, and thank you for the call, is that people need to embrace new music more, and that's the biggest problem I see. And it's top to bottom. It's the record labels, not the record labels. It's the radio stations, and it's the fans. Every week I'm on here taking calls from people in different parts of the country because it's a national show, saying things like, "Hey, so Iron Maiden done any new music in the last 10 years?" I'm not joking.
Oh no,
I'm not joking at all.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
like,
can believe it.
It's like it's laughable, but it also bums me out because it's just like, well, you're worried about the rock scene not being strong. As a fan, you have to do a little bit of a better job. It's not going to be right in your face. We don't live in a world like that anymore, and we have something really powerful: the internet. In one click, you could punch in IronMaiden.com. You can find out there's 3 studio albums. You could find out if there's a tour. You can find it's really simple, but it's people. There are a lot of people that are out of touch, and there's also a lot of outlets, quite frankly, that don't support new music from bands, whether they be new bands or classic bands with new music. And a lot of people that, and I pride myself on never doing this, not to bang my own drum, but in 30 years. Have you guys sitting here right now, talk to you, blow a lot of smoke, play your song, and never play it again the minute you walk out of the studio.
Yeah.
And that's just bullshit. So that's the stuff that's got to change.
I agree.
Well, I want to thank Dennis for that call, man, because there was a lot of sincerity in what he was saying, and we just,
I don't know about the "fuck America" part though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, sorry.
I knew where he was coming from, but might be a little strong.
Right, absolutely. But I just mean the fact that I think we feel pretty optimistic, man, that there's more people like Dennis in America that are doing their homework, that are, paying attention, and they're going to realize that Thin Lizzy has evolved now into Black Star Riders, and this is this new music. But I love what he said about, this lineup of the band being out celebrating the music of Lizzy. You know, and in Europe, this is just so vast. I mean, you know.
And I think now equally as important, because of the name change, you're now celebrating your own music as well. So it's a two-headed thing, and I think that's what is really beautiful about the name change and it being a dual thing. Let's go to Danny, who's listening in Austin. Go ahead, Danny, you're on the air.
Hey there, Eddie. Glad you could have me here. You guys have to excuse me. It's the first time I've ever been live on the radio, so maybe a little...
Congratulations.
Welcome.
Go on, Danny.
I'm honored it was my show. Thank you, Danny.
But I love this. Guys, I can listen to this for about 2 hours out in my driveway in the car, and I just want to say we are spreading the word out here. I'm actually in a Thin Lizzy tribute band, and Damon, I play Brian and Gary and John. And
Wow.
I
Right on.
cannot... We came in just recently 6th in the poll here in Austin, Texas. It's the best tribute band. And I cannot tell you how many people in front of the stage singing songs like Southbound. I see them wording.
Donnie, how much is it a buzz just to play those songs, right?
I mean,
Unbelievable.
It's amazing that there are so many fans that don't get it. I mean, like you guys were saying earlier, the boys are back in town, the jailbreak, and we do the Cowboy song and all that, but it's like, we do almost a 2-hour set of you guys.
Well, and you know, Danny, as well as we do, that the catalog, the Lizzy catalog, is just so thick with so much great material, and that's why we're so excited about this Black Star Riders record, because the record from top to bottom celebrates that sound. It celebrates this type of storytelling. That's why Ricky was not only the right fit, he was the only fit to get up there and do this job. So. And we really appreciate the call, man. Thanks for all the enthusiasm, and good luck to you guys. When we're in Austin, you gotta let us get up and sit in, all right?
And Danny, if you are playing Robertson, Gary Moore, and John Sykes all in one show, you're a hell of a guitar player, my friend. If you're playing half as good as they did, you're still half a hell of a guitar player. So I'll come see you in Austin as well.
That's awesome.
Let's go to Philly and say hello to Frank. Hi, Frank.
Hey, Andy, how you doing?
Good, man.
Hey, Frank, how's it going?
Good, thanks, guys. I just want to say great lead songs in that new album. It's going to be something to pick up there, and I'm looking forward to listening to it.
Thank you.
With all the different variations and lineup changes through the years in Lizzy, what specifically would you kind of look at and say, either in the recording studio or maybe live on tour, what's the strangest thing that's happened, either as a collective group or individually?
Great question.
Well, I mean, the first thing that pops in my head to that question is, without a doubt, for me, my most memorable show with Thin Lizzy so far was when we played Hammersmith in London. That was February of 2012,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It was a really emotional thing for me, man, because that venue has such reverence. The place was packed to the walls, man. They had 5,000 people in there, and you know, it was just like a dream come true to play songs like Still in Love with You and Black Rose in a town like London, audience of that size. And I was feeling it, man. I had such a great show. Our assistant Jack, he's bringing us shots of Bushmills whiskey, you know, and I'm getting kind of caught up in it. I'm loving it. I'm like, this is it.
I mean, you were hammered.
I was hammered at Hammersmith with Thin Lizzy. The last
Leave it
song,
to Ricky to cut to the chase. You're hammered.
He was hammered.
the last song of the set is The Boys Are Back in Town. And I hit the biggest clam in the harmony solo at the end of the song. You know, we're all up at the front of the stage, and all the lights are on, the place is going off. There's confetti everywhere. Ricky's high-fiving people. It's just bedlam. And we're going, and I go, and it was just the right note that just stuck out like a broken jaw. And
the look you got from Scott Gorham.
Oh man!
Just...
Well, there's a video. It's on YouTube. If you search hard enough, you can find it. And
I was even scared, and I didn't.
Damon Johnson's
screw
clam.
up.
No, it was the biggest clam in the history of clams. And as soon as we all walked in the dressing room, the beauty about being in a two-guitar band, I exercised this immediately. We walked in the dressing room, and our manager goes, "What happened at the end of?" Who hit that note? And I'm just toweling off a guy. That was Scott.
Now wait, you mentioned two-guitar band. Ricky, are you going to play any guitar in this live as well?
You know, I kind of will have to you know, mosey my way in there. Yeah, just live, you know. In certain places, there's a couple of three-part harmonies and some of the stuff, and you know, it just does a little bit of muscle to the sound live.
Yeah, I love that, man.
And you know, I'm in a band with Damon Johnson and Scott Gorham. I don't need to play a lot of guitar. I'm not even going to attempt to. Those two cats.
He's a good guitar player. Don't let him sell himself short.
You know, it's yeah, it just works. It works in the right places.
Bang out some chords in the background at least.
You know,
And
exactly,
keep it punchy.
yeah.
That's all. Dave in Allentown, PA. You're on with the guys. Go ahead, Dave.
How are you, Ricky? What's the crack?
Hey, Dave, how's it going? Recognize that accent?
I'm Dublin. I'm living over here now.
Ah, good man.
But I have to say, I've seen Lizzy over the last 10 years or so, and the song's lineup I love, I have to say. And I saw yourselves with Def Leppard and Alice Cooper there in the O2 of them.
Yes.
And just in my personal opinion now, I felt with Darren and the two guitarists and yourself playing guitar, the sound was a little bit muddled for my liking.
Right.
And it was a little bit much. But having said that, I do like the new single with you guys.
Oh, thank you. Listen, man, I appreciate your honesty, and you know what? We have a different sound guy now since that show, so...
I guess he wasn't the only one that thought
that. We had a few comments about the sound, and you know, enough to make us take notice, so we actually parted ways with the sound guy, and the guy we've got now is absolutely amazing. He's been with us. But no, listen, I appreciate your honesty, man. Thank you.
Let's go to Arizona to say hi to Mike. Mike, you're live on the air with Ricky and Damon. Go ahead. Hey, Mike.
I'm in, Mike.
Mike, did we lose you? We'll come back to you, Mike. You were waiting a while. We'll try to get back to you. Let's go to Columbus, Ohio. Say hi to Mike. Hi, Mike. You're on the air. Another Mike. Hey, Mike.
Oh, hi.
Hey, man.
How you doing?
Hey, Mike.
You're on the air.
Hey, I just wanted to know, what took so long to put some other songs out? I mean, they've been putting a lot of other Thin Lizzy songs out now, and
What do you mean? Who's been putting Thin Lizzy songs out?
well, they're playing them now on these, like their Air Nation. They play different songs now, and I love it. I mean,
We don't have anything to.
I got kind of tired of it. I mean, but I wanted to hear more. You know.
Well, first of all, Mike, thank you. You're not listening to my show then, because I've been playing everything but that. And secondly, I mean, none of us know what the programming does here outside of the time we're here, so who knows? But it's good that they're doing that if that's the case. Dave in Baltimore, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, good.
Good, man.
You guys are fantastic. I think it's the greatest song I've heard from a new band, new old band in a long time. I think Phil would be very proud. It sounds. I can see him playing that on the bass. Sound Glory is going to be a great song. I think Eddie's your best advocate because he turned me on to UFOs 3 years ago, and that's all I listen to now. And I'm a big Thin Lizzy fan. I love Scott Gorham. I love that old stuff. But you guys are bringing the old stuff back, which I love. And I think it's just absolutely
right on, Dave. Thank you so much. That means a hell of a lot.
Very cool of you, Dave. Thanks, man.
Thank you,
That's
Dave.
awesome.
I appreciate that. It's my specialty to turn people onto bands 40 years after they existed. Better late than never.
Eddie Chalk. We need to come together.
Breaking bands in their 60s.
Oh,
Don't retire yet. Eddie Trunk is coming.
He's coming. It ain't over. It ain't over until Eddie gets a hold of you.
That's it. I told Phil Mogg, hang in there, Phil. You're going to play the Garden soon. You're going to headline it. I swear, buddy. Let's go to L.A. and say hi to Ray. Hi, Ray. Hey, better late than never, man. Whatever it takes. Go ahead, Ray.
Hey, Eddie. How you doing?
Good, man.
How you guys doing?
Hey,
We're
Ray.
great.
I don't know why, but I got a strange craving for Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Magically delicious.
They are indeed, yes.
You live in L.A. Ricky's going to come kick your ass.
I've never eaten them in my life, Ray, but that's what I've been led to believe.
Look out. Ricky lives in L.A. too, Ray. He's going to come kick your ass.
Well, I like to say that I saw Phil perform in Cleveland in '79
Wow.
at the World Series of Rock.
Wow.
Right
The
on.
lineup was fantastic. In fact, that's the show where Aerosmith broke up. You know, the milk incident backstage.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm just glad you guys are keeping the spirit of Phil alive, man.
Thank
guys
you.
are awesome.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
I hope you keep rolling. I got a question. When you opened for Priest in San Bernardino last time, were you actually there at the show?
Was Eddie there?
Me or the band?
No, was the Thin Lizzy
open.
Well,
Oh, yes, we did. Yes.
but the reason why you're probably asking that, Ray, and I understand that question because I actually heard it from some other people. You guys went on extremely
really early. I think we were like
and you
6,
didn't play all that long, 40 minutes or whatever.
Right.
And the other big problem with that tour was, and I think I mentioned it to someone, is that a lot of the ads printed the showtime starting at 7 or 7:30. And you guys were going on at like 6:30
That's right.
and done at 7:10.
That's right.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had actually been asked that question by a lot of people because they got there when, okay, you know, you got to get there right when the ticket says,
Oh,
but you
man.
were actually already a half hour into your set.
That's a total drag. We were completely unaware of that, man. I hate hearing stories like that because, you know, for the band to be in some of these major markets like that, especially out on the West Coast where they so rarely get, you know, I know there's a lot of Lizzy fans out there. That's a drag, man. I hate that.
It's hard, especially during the week when people work and stuff to get there to get them in there in time. But I mean, when you're on a 3-band bill like that, as you were, and you were the first band on,
Yeah.
the worst part though is that you actually went on earlier than the announced time, which
Right.
really threw people. And there were a number of people that thought that. But listen, you got a whole nother shot coming up. I'm sure there's a lot of dates coming in America.
I
for
promise you,
everybody, right?
we'll be in San Bernardino, Ray. Come back and see us, man.
There you go. Let's get a couple more, and then we'll wrap this up. Let's go to Arizona. I'm told that Mike is now there. Go ahead, Mike. You're on the air.
Hey guys, thanks a lot.
Hey, Mike.
Problem with the mute button, of course. Hey, first of all, big Lizzy fan. The new stuff sounds wow. Got that Lizzy vibe in the vocals. I really dig it. But
Thank you.
more importantly, when I called Damon, you're my. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Brother King, huge band for me, and I would just want to throw this in a little off topic. Are you guys playing any Brother King stuff while you're out? Do you see any tours with them in the future? You know, what's the story on that?
Thank you for that, Mike. The only time I play Brother King songs is when I play Belfast with Ricky, and we play acoustic, and we do Got No Shame. No, Mike, to be perfectly honest with you, man, we're not really going to hit the road hardcore with Black Star Riders until later in the summer, and I am indeed going to be booking a few Brother King shows, like around July. So it would be incredible to get all the way to Phoenix, man. That's such a great town, and I got a lot of friends there. So maybe it can work out. But thank you for the call, and thank you for all your kind words.
And you know what? We'll hit a little Got No Shame before we let you guys, and we wrap this up in a couple
Oh,
of minutes.
thanks,
So I would have gladly played some Almighty, but there's none in here. I apologize,
I'll
my
send
friend.
you some, man.
Please do, because I certainly
I
will
will.
play it if you do.
Thank
A
you.
couple more quick ones, and then we will wrap this up with these guys and then get into some other stuff. Mike in Des Moines. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, how you doing, Eddie?
Hey, we're good, man. Thank you.
Hey, Mike.
How's it going, Damon?
What's up, Mike?
Hey, it's probably a dream come true for you. I remember watching you as the Taco Brothers at the Rock Connection and back home. And that was one of my favorite things y'all did, man, was when y'all did Jailbreak.
Oh, thank you, Mike. That's incredible, man. Yeah, he's talking about this just bashing party bar band I had with some friends. We
Taco Brothers?
Called ourselves the Taco Brothers. And we actually did like a medley of Thin Lizzy. We did Jailbreak standalone, but then we did Emerald, and then we did Cowboy Song into Boys Are Back in Town. And I became known around Birmingham as the Thin Lizzy guy. So
You probably remember me best. I used to be with a little band called Pirate.
oh, I totally remember Pirate.
I'm Junior.
I think we. Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, I think we all tried to hit on your girlfriend.
All right, Mike, I got to run. I sense a Taco Brothers Pirate reunion show coming soon to a theater near you. One or two more quick ones. Let's go to Omaha, Nebraska. Say hi to Brian. Brian, you're on the air.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, Brian. How you
Good,
doing?
man.
Hey, Eddie, I love your show. I've been listening now for a couple of years. I first discovered it on a road trip down to Florida.
Thank you.
David Johnson, I saw you guys open up, I believe it was for Van Halen, mid-90s.
Yeah,
I
man.
think. Yeah, loved you guys. Ricky, I saw you open up for Def Leppard on that tour 3 times.
Oh, right on.
Me and my kids dug it. We bought your album.
Ah, thank you,
Loved
man.
it.
Thank
And then
you.
when I found out you were joining Thin Lizzy, I was like, I know who that guy is.
I remember him.
At Omaha show, I was out of town that weekend. I was just getting back.
Oh, man.
Sunday night, I tried to get back in time, but I was bummed that I didn't. But anyways, I just wanted to say, hopefully I get a chance to see you
Oh,
guys.
thank you so much, man. That's awesome.
Very cool, Brian. Thanks so
Thanks,
much,
Brian.
man.
Brian, thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it. Well, guys, it was fun, man. I appreciate you coming in, and I wish you the best of luck with this record. May 28th again, Black Star Riders debut album coming out. And what's the plan for touring in America, at least? Timetable for
We're
that?
hitting it. We're looking August, September for sure. That's what we're
Are you ideally, do you want to go out with another band, or
Yes.
you want to go do your own thing?
We'd love to mix it up. We'd love to go out with another band. You know, man, it's always cool when you can get in front of a built-in crowd, and especially when you can kind of help them connect the dots. And you know, we're so grateful to you, Ed, for this time and to talk it up. And you know, you've really done a great job of helping people realize the Thin Lizzy connection to Black Star Riders. So,
absolutely.
But yeah, man, we're excited to play the States much more than Thin Lizzy has been able to. I mean, really and truly, this band is all Americans now, except for Scott, because he lives in London. But Ricky's in L.A., Marco's in L.A. Jimmy.
You're not going to sell Ricky as an American with that accent.
I can't.
I don't care where he lives.
No way, no, I'm Irish, you know.
Are you a citizen?
I got the green card. No,
Ricky?
No, no, and I have
All
the choice to be citizen. I'm very proud to be from Northern Ireland. I love living in America. My wife's American, and you know, my kids are here and everything like that. But you know, I'll be Irish till the day I die.
Yeah, you're not selling him as anything but Irish.
Not with that accent, for sure, man.
All right. Well, we'll definitely keep an eye open for those dates, whether they be headlining dates or openers. You know, as a fan, I'd love to see a headline set because you want the big long show. But obviously, as you guys trying to sell people and convert people and tell people you're out there, it helps to get in front of other people's audiences too. So you know, either way, it's hopefully a good situation, as long as they don't put you on before the time on the ticket.
Yeah.
Says. And Priest are my boys, so don't get me wrong, I love those guys to death, but I don't know if it's promoters or what, but
Well, we'll make sure that doesn't happen.
make sure you go on when it says you go on, and we'll be all good. So
Thanks for everything.
Eddie, thanks, Eddie. Yeah.
anytime, man, keep in touch. And again, you mentioned it, we released all the information today, but we will be seeing you guys in a couple weeks in LA for that metal show where you're going to be guests. We've had Gorham on. We had Gorham on early in the history of the show when we used to do it from New York, and he was fantastic.
He's great.
It was one of my favorite shows we ever did, just because his personality, his sense of humor was great.
Yeah.
He's the best, man.
We had a great time with Scott, so we look forward to bringing him in on that as well, and we'll have a good time, no question about that. So look for the guys coming to the new season of That Metal Show, which starts airing June 1st as well. Announced all the guests for the new season today, actually. If you go to eddietrunk.com, you hit the Trunk Report, you'll see the full listing of all our guests for the new season. All right, so we mentioned Brother Kane. As Damon just said, he may go do some shows in the interim with these guys, which will be good to hear again. And this was a pretty big song for you guys.
Yeah, this is when it kind of got it all started for us, man. We got a lot of love in New York, in particular, with this song. And you know, thanks for the guys that called in, asked about it, and thank you for playing it.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, for people, you guys listening, I would certainly be playing more from Black Star Riders, but the powers that be don't want that to happen just yet because we're still far out front. But as soon as I get the green light, I will certainly be playing it. And trust me, I have it. Selfishly, I've been listening to it. And trust me when I say, if you liked what I just played, you will not be disappointed. It's all good. So as soon as I get the green light, we'll hit you with a bunch of other songs from that record. But just so I don't get people, oh, dude, you talked about it, you didn't fucking play it. You know, there's a reason for everything, all right? Here's Brother Kane. We got more coming up. 2 hours left to go, and I think Joey Kramer from Aerosmith is going to check in shortly.
Right on, Eddie.
Yeah, man, that was fucking awesome, man.
Of course, man, that was fun. You guys make it easy.